How we doing, guys? Just quickly, because it's obvious. I think that's how you should attack this week. You should look for games that are obvious and games that mean something, and that's what we'll do with our show pick this week. So we'll get that right off the top. We're going to take the Panthers at +3 against the Bucks. Obviously, a bit of a homer. I am cheering for the Panthers, not just for my friend Gov, who is a Panthers fan, but I like Eric Eager, who also runs the analytics over there. So there's a lot of reasons. So yes, we are biased. I mean, if you guys have noticed long enough, we did take a lot of Drake. Or I almost said Drake May because I see Donnie's image there, but we did take a lot of Bryce Young and best ball. So we have been behind this team for a while. I'm not going to hide behind the bias check, but I do believe the Panthers will beat the Bucks. For some reason, the Bucks have been very inconsistent and just I don't think good enough. And
No, they've been consistently awful the last 2 months. They're 1-7 the last 2 months. They're just bad.
yeah. I was just gonna say, Donnie, we also were on the Bucks. Like you said, you thought the Bucks would overperform. You thought the Baker Mayfield had a chance to be MVP. And to be fair to your point, at points this year, he did look that good. This offense did look that good. Now they got hurt.
So did Indy. Like
right.
It's sort of the same collapse. They went 7-1, 1-7, and Tampa
But
Bay's
like Indy, you can explain.
The only difference is Tampa Bay could win this game, right the ship, and make the playoffs.
And Indy, I can sit there and say Indy had injuries. Like they got hurt. Tampa's was hurt early on. They got healthy and got bad.
Yeah. I just wanted to prove that we were on both ends of the spectrum at one point, but I do think the Panthers are the better team. I do think actually the Panthers probably deserve it of all the teams. And I don't know why everyone thinks like maybe I'm just listening to the wrong noise, but I've been hearing a lot of if the Bucks get to the playoffs, they could be dangerous. Like, but we've seen the Panthers be dangerous at times too. So I just feel like both teams are very inconsistent, but I think both teams could actually be exciting in the playoffs. I don't think there's enough pushback on how good the Panthers could look or have looked at times. Like, it's not even the young quarterback discussion that always gets brought up. It's also your defense, Gov. Your defense is a lot better than people give it credit for. At times. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being biased as a fan because like I do like inconsistent teams because they give you inconsistent results, which are fun for fantasy. So maybe I'm being biased in that regard, but I do think that Saturday's game means a lot, and it's just going to be a good game to watch. So we have a number generator. We'll compete still, even though it's decided. Donnie will get the Super Bowl pick. That's all, but for bragging rights, for purposes. That just keep things consistent. We'll finish out the year with week 18. You got a pull up right down here or no?
We're all good. Give me a number.
Okay, 18. I'll stick with the week.
Donnie?
I'll go number 1 and hope for the 1 seed.
27.
It is?
The number is 42.
I guess I'm not getting my 1 seed.
Nope. Well, no, technically, you will get the 1 seed in the draft.
Yeah.
So you'll get to put the first person in our lineup, but no, it will go me, Logan, and then you when we pick our stuff right now. So, looking down here, week 18 is a weird week. A lot of teams have nothing to play for. A lot of games mean absolutely crap. Some games mean things to other teams. But the spreads are crazy.
I was gonna say on our first installment this week on our first show, you said you might be betting more this week, Gov. So like when you look at the betting board this week, what do you look for? Are you looking for the games that matter? Like, are you more likely to bet on like the Saturday games? Are you looking for like the games where it's like uneven on purpose and trying to attack the spreads that way? Like, how do you approach this week?
I'll be playing more showdowns when it comes to DFS.
Yep.
The single game. And then I'm looking at like the things that I can like predict with my stuff. So like prop bets, I might check some over-unders, make a few parlays based on that. But again, there'll be single-game parlays, kind of like showdowns. I'll be looking at it from that scope, game by game. Which games do actually matter that I can put some stock into? And hopefully after I get done doing that, I'll have a list of a few games that give me some plays I can use in DFS.
Makes sense. I'm kind of the opposite. I tend to play more of the 2-game slates. I tend to play the larger slates and stay away from the showdown. So that's a good comparable when we go to build our lineups because we'll have the 2 different contrasting styles.
But I think the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to go with the pride game. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to take Detroit +3.
Yeah, I would have taken that one. Just because I feel like both teams are going to try, like, remember, Ben Johnson was
Detroit is technically out, even if Chicago can't really get the one. Like, this game matters. It's a divisional game that matters.
And there's some animosity with the coaching changes. Like Ben Johnson, does he get more credit, or should he get more credit for the Lions' success? Obviously, he leaves and they fall apart. The Bears rise up. We also embarrassed them at like week 3. You know, like that was a big embarrassment moment. So like Ben Johnson is the kind of guy that would hold a grudge. I don't expect this game to be pretty at all. Like I expect both teams to really want to prove something to each other.
That's my favorite game stack this week.
Yeah,
I like stacking that game.
See, and I could understand that. It's got a good total. Everything about it looks like a good DFS game.
Yeah.
Good total, late game hammer.
And the way Ben Johnson's using a lot of his rookies like Burton and Loveland right now, I feel like there's a small it's closing, but I still think there's a small edge in terms of salary on a lot of Bears players this week. I'll say that quickly. It's my pick, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to lay one that I think is really obvious. I would have taken that Lions-Bears game similarly. I thought I would have to take it early because one of you would take it, and I was right about that. I'll take my second favorite game, though. I'll take the Houston Texans against a rookie that I don't feel like is very good in Leonard from Notre Dame. I feel like there's a reason they asked a 50-year-old man, Philip Rivers, to come off of the couch. And so because of that, they didn't want to play Leonard. They're now having to play Leonard, but Houston, this is big, has to win this game. So I don't feel like 10's enough because they are going to make sure that they cover this number, I feel like. And I also like it because the one thing we have heard about Houston in terms of not being good is their offense is underperformed. Their defense has carried them. If there's ever a time to like show going into the playoffs that, you know, we are a legit team, it might be putting it on a team that is bad and defeated like the Colts. So I like Houston to cover 10 pretty easily.
I think they should win that easily. I don't know about 10. That's a big number. I don't know. We'll see what Leonard puts on film, I guess. But that first game with the young quarterback usually looks okay.
But that's the thing is he also had that like peekaboo kind of moment. Like I know this will be his first start, but he did kind of have some snaps, and then they turned to Philip Rivers. That tells me that Leonard might not be ready. You are right, Donnie. 10's a lot to cover, but I just feel like Leonard's not really prepared or a good enough quarterback. So I'm betting against Leonard essentially when I make this pick.
I'm already clinched to the pick. I'm going to have a little fun. I'm going to go with what I believe will happen and what I want to happen. So for my first pick, I'll pick the Niners to cover +1.5. That's, I feel like, the right number in a pick 'em. Niners at home. I'll just take the home team that I think is better.
Makes sense.
Home dog. Take it. Okay.
Yeah. And then my second pick, I know they've been bad, but are they really can't deal with the second stringers bad? I'll take the Commanders at +4.5. I feel like that's a game they should at least cover where the Eagles are probably not going to play their starters.
The problem is the Eagles' depth might be the best in the league. Like when you look at a full roster, the Eagles probably have a lot of talent. Like I still think the Eagles' second string guys are better than most Commanders' first string guys. I don't know. I get the logic, Donnie. I don't know if I like that though.
Well, the Commanders were also on a lot of their second string guys, to be fair, but
yeah,
that's a different issue.
And we have seen that it looks like they're going to use Krosky Merritt, and when he does get opportunities, he does usually look pretty good, especially against like the second tier guys. So like I could see this game staying low scoring and the Commanders being able to cover it. It just scares me away.
I don't know if I'd pick that in this if it was like if I had to pick and I had to win. I'm a little more lackadaisical with my pick.
No, I get it. And this is a week that like you should probably like maybe we talked about playing lighter, but like don't just stay away, like but play it smart. Like know where the teams are motivated, where they're not, and take some chances. Like this is a week where you should take some chances and have some fun. It's back to you, right, Go?
It's back to you, Logan. You were middle.
It is me. I always skip myself. I try not to pay attention to math or numbers or logic too much, but man, this board is ugly. Here's a game.
It is. I'm glad I got the one I needed.
I don't care if it's Mitch Trubisky because I do think that
do it. No.
I do think the Bills will beat the Jets by 7.5 pretty easily. And here's two reasons why. One, Dalvin Cook is competing for being the rushing leader in the league. Him and Taylor are basically neck and neck. They're really comparable with who's going to actually have that title. I think weirdly that matters. It wouldn't matter to me at all. I wouldn't let it matter, but I think McDermott's a
type of guy. Bijan is more like McCaffrey and gets dual yardage, so he wouldn't be
correct.
Yeah.
So it is one of those weird things where like I don't think it should matter, but I think it will. It's also the last game in Buffalo.
Well, if Mitch Trubisky's starting, does James Cook play? Like Mitch Trubisky's confirmed to start?
I don't know because it's the last game at the Ralph Stadium in Buffalo, and I just feel like they'll want to go out with some kind of statement, some kind of imagery. So I personally think Josh Allen will get some snaps in this game. It will be short. It will be brief. I do expect to see a lot of Mitch Trubisky, but that's enough to at least probably get the Buffalo Bills ahead. And then you sit, and even still, I think Mitch is better than anything the Jets have at this point.
I agree. Gov, close us out here. There's still some teams that are playing for stuff in here.
There's not. I want to take my Panthers. There's a lot of stuff. Let me double check.
I thought you would take the Falcons.
I figured he would go for one of these teams fighting for the AFC 1 seed.
Oh, I thought he was going to go with the Falcons. They look like they're still fighting for something, even though they're out of the playoffs.
If it makes you feel better, Gov, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter.
There's a reason I like all three of you, and that's because...
Wait a second.
Still waiting.
I just saw the Sunday night game.
What's the number at?
Is it? It was 3.5.
I know he's taking the Steelers. I know he's taking the Steelers side. What am I asking?
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. He does know me very well right now.
It's still.
I'm taking the Steelers.
Yeah.
Give me Tomlin. One last time, baby.
Okay. I have to run. I'm getting called in. We had somebody call it at work. But I will give you my first pick of the lineup and the reason why. Khalil Shakir is going to be my player, and he needs one touchdown for his bonus. So,
Shakir?
Yes. Shakir needs one touchdown for a bonus. It's like
guaranteed like 7 or 8 point floor for him.
Yeah, and he needs a touchdown for $200K.
Okay.
So that's my pick.
Get to work safe, Donnie. You gave us some work already trying to build a good lineup around Shakir. We'll see what we can do. That does actually give us a good bridge, though, Gov. How much of these incentives do you chase? Because, like, I like to chase meaningful games or like meaningful narratives that I know matter. So, like, some incentives matter and some are just like numbers, if that makes sense. Like,
a team that's going for something, or a team where you know the coach is one of those player guys.
Yeah.
And it's a realistic incentive, and it would actually be beneficial. That's the other thing. Like, one touchdown, that's 6 points. It's a great floor. Let's open up the lineup builder. How pricey is Khalil Shakir?
He wasn't even on my radar. So now this is I guess it's a fun, that's what I call it. It's a fun experiment.
Yeah, I am opening it up right now too.
He wasn't even on my radar. And like, that's my problem is like, if he's like 3K, I'm like, sure, yeah, 7 points is a good floor.
No, he'll probably be in the mid 5K range of some kind.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, I know he's not
5K exactly.
Is he? Okay.
Yes. So that's sub-average price. It's a point where I'm kind of still wanting him to get me 18 to 20. But you're telling me he has like a 7-point floor because he's going to have one catch for a touchdown.
Yeah, and he's not a type of a player that usually exceeds value. Like he doesn't usually show that upside, so that's what scares me.
But that upside comes with touchdowns, which is something he doesn't usually have.
Like I said, with him being closing the Ralph in Buffalo, I do expect Josh Allen to at least make a cameo appearance.
But like the Cincinnati game when he could have gone off, he was 5,300. He had a touchdown. He went 2 of 3 for 16 yards. 9 points at 5K doesn't help me.
So let's look at the positives of this matchup. The Jets are a bad defense. We expect the Bills to be able to move the ball, and we know Shakir is probably the most talented receiver, but we need a lot of work in like that first series initially. Like we need him to catch 2 or 3 catches on that first drive and score the touchdown. That's
because then they're going to sit him.
Right. Exactly.
That's the thing. But even if he does that, so let's say he gets 3 catches for, let's say each catch is first down worthy, so it's 3 for 30.
Yeah.
And he gets the touchdown on that. That's 336. That's still only 12 points at 5K. So we need Shakir to have a really good day. He does have the floor where he could have a good day, depending on how much he plays.
Yeah. Again, I find this to be a fun challenge because it's something I wouldn't have considered to do. And I'll be transparent. I still don't know if it's a move, but that's part of the exercise here. Now, the other thing I would say, though, is some people are going to chase a lot of the cheaper value guys or maybe even a 3K guy or a rookie who hasn't done anything. And so maybe you'll get more zeros. I hate to bring this example up, but it just works. Donnie wanted to chase the narrative last week with Taysom Hill, and we took a 0. So maybe having Shakir's floor in that regard will help us because we expect him to get something. And so if he gets something, he beats a lot of people that are guessing with those zeros. So that would be
there could be a lot of zeros as guys randomly sit in games.
Right. We've seen it with the Saints ruling out Chris Olave with a blood clot in his lung. That seems like a serious issue. And that's something it looks like they didn't plan for. That's not we want to get load management here. We kind of have these young even if they had young guys, they weren't planning on losing Chris Olave in a game that they wanted to show off their young talent. So, I mean, that's a game where you can see good value. There's a potential there, but to your point, some people are going to take too many gambles, and so at least Shakir is safe in that regard. Where else would you go with this lineup, Go?
Well, it's your pick.
Is it my pick?
Yes.
I never remember the order.
You're good. I'll get 2 after you.
Okay, so let me at least get to a game that I think is going to matter. There's very few games, and again, this game doesn't matter to Detroit in terms of record, but Dan Campbell's one of those guys where it weirdly matters. And like I say, this game is one of the few. That's what I was going to say. This game is one of the few where we expect points. I believe the total was at 50 and a half. So in a week where we have a lot of uncertainty, I'm going to plug in Jahmyr Gibbs. I think he's looked very bad at points, but there was also points in the year where we were putting him up there offensively with a Puka Nacua or someone of that nature. Like we were thinking, like should he be at least mentioned in the Offensive Player of the Year nominees? And then he's had a bunch of weeks where he hasn't looked so good. So this could be like I want to leave the fan base with some good momentum going into next year. So I'll take Gibbs here. I don't know if that broke your computer brain, Gov, or not. Hopefully it left you enough money.
That works out. Gibbs is perfectly fine this week. Maybe not the best of the pay up plays, but perfectly fine. I would rather jammed Bijan personally, but like that's me.
And I'm okay. I have a lineup where I actually have both of them in right now in kind of a tester build lineup. Like I do think it's a week where you can jam in some value.
Let's see. I get 2 picks here. I am going to go. Let's jam in some value.
Personally, in that game, by the way, I think the Saints have opened up a lot of value. Speaking of that game as well.
Actually, do I want value? Good Lord.
One of the few games that actually matters is Trevor Lawrence and the Jags have to win that game. So a lot of people are going to be stacking a lot of Jags this week, just so you guys are aware. Again, not to say it's a bad stack. It's just like that. It's looking like that will be high owned. I think Trevor Lawrence might come in as the highest owned quarterback.
I was honestly thinking like, give me Travis Etienne and Luther Burden III.
Oh, I love that.
That's my 2 picks.
Yeah, the usage of Burton, I think, was always there. Like I was taking him. I took him this year in a league that I care a lot about with my friends in the last round, thinking he was going to get a lot more usage because Ben Johnson talked about using him a lot. He drafted him.
But he still was like an unskilled rookie. So like it was going to take a good chunk of the year. But really, he's been thrust into it because of Odunze's injury. Like if he wasn't there, you'd still just have Odunze and DJ Moore ahead of him. Yeah. But now without that, he has to play alongside DJ Moore. And DJ Moore, if one thing DJ Moore will do, he'll let other receivers look better.
And I also want to mention he was on the injury report technically because it looked like he got up slow, but he's now off the injury report. He was practicing this week, so that was just a scare. If anyone saw the primetime game and is a little scared off of that play, you shouldn't be. In fact, he's looked very good in terms of his yards per average since taking over that kind of slot dominant role for the Bears in the last couple of weeks. So like I expect him to get tons of usage. Okay. See, I like this lineup a lot better, and I think we'll be different enough with the Shakir pick. I don't think he'll draw ownership, so he could be the one that makes our lineup different.
Yep. Like maybe one more different play, but no, like that's basically all we're gonna need.
Yeah, I'm just gonna jam in one of my favorite values. Again, we do modify the lineup if we need to, if we have some salary left over and we want to move something. But without Chris Olave out there, I want to get a guy who got a touchdown last week and is still in the 3K range. Give me Kelvin Austin. He's also a UFL XFL kind of spring football guy, so we have that connection with him as well. So I do want to cheer for him. I'm not going to lie, but I think he put enough on tape, and given the Saints are still going to try to get Shuck the rookie of the year, I think there's enough motivation there.
Kevin Austin Jr. Okay.
Yep.
Well, that certainly is one. I probably would have just taken Dante Pettis, but
well, he was on the injury report. That's why I didn't. That kind of scared me off. I don't know if he's still. Let me check. He is not. He is cheaper, so
both are solid cheap plays for that game.
Yeah, if we need the money though, I don't mind. Like if you feel like Pettis is a better player, I'm okay making that change as well. I just want a cheap guy from the Saints.
No, I'm perfectly fine. I'm not changing your pick.
Okay, it's Tipton that was questionable, by the way, just to correct myself. I knew one
Donnie,
of them.
if you're in chat and want someone in the lineup, let us know now. Because, like, looking at the construction, like, we've got our 2 solid running backs. They're pay-ups.
I just saw he should be in the chat, so we'll see if he responds.
But, like, I'll filibuster to give him a second. But, like, the construction right now, we've got 2 solid pay-up running backs. We got a 2 mid-tier wide receivers. And then a pay down. The
Typical
Vikings,
Donnie fashion, he takes the defense. If anyone's been here long enough to know, Donnie likes defense.
And Minnesota gets pressure, especially against backup quarterbacks, and I believe we're still getting Malik Willis, correct?
We might not even get that. There's still a rumor that they might rest.
They're going to play Clayton Tune.
They could be playing Tune.
You're going Looney Tune?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Vikings defense. 100%. Good call, Donnie.
That is one team. The Packers basically, I think they threw up the flag first. We expect other teams to surrender and play their backups. I think the Packers were one of the first and most aggressive team to be like, you might get basically all of our.
They did it, and then Harbaugh was like, hold my beer. Trey Lance starts.
Yeah.
Like,
I will be playing some Trey Lance. Just fantasy upside.
I don't know if I play Trey Lance against Denver, but like I also don't know if I don't play Trey Lance against Denver. I'm with you on that.
I think Justin Fields got us 40 points this year on a DFS slate. I think it was week 1 or week 2. So if that can happen, given the rushing upside of quarterbacks, I'm going to play a little bit of Trey Lance just based on the potential. Yeah, Donnie's also here. It could be.
Oh, we're Looney Tuning. Oh, that's amazing. Well, Donnie, if you've got another pick, you technically get 2 in a row.
But even if
right now, we need a quarterback, a tight end, and a flex. Like this lineup is gross, but so is Week 18. So I'm not afraid of this lineup right now. I'm afraid of this lineup. Why would you say that, Donnie? Oh my God.
Caleb Williams. Well, at least it goes with our stack. He didn't do it as a total secure thing where he left us totally bewildered. At least
he didn't say Mitch Trubisky with Khalil Shakir. Like, oh my freaking God.
I thought that might be where he goes, to be completely honest.
I might have shut my camera off.
Oh, well.
Okay, so we're making it a Caleb. Well, okay, so if that's what you're doing, Logan, you got a tight end or a flex. I've got the last pick. My suggestion is let's double Caleb. Whether you want to double him with a running back or a tight end, I don't know.
Okay, if you want to double Caleb, let's just go with the other rookie that I think they want to showcase. Since that's what this lineup basically says anyways, like Chicago's going to showcase rookies, and they're both maybe going to score 50 points.
I'm perfectly fine with Loveland.
Give me Loveland.
I'm perfectly lovely on Loveland.
I think that actually allows us to correlate another game spec we had and a guy you mentioned, and no, it doesn't. I thought it might give us Bijan.
How much does that give us?
84, and Bijan's 87. That was just a player.
Yeah, we'd have to go down somewhere to get to Bijan. Yeah.
We could go down to Pettis and have enough, I believe. We could get off of Austin.
Is that 300? What do we need, 400?
Was he? I can't remember if he was 3K.
He was 31.
Was he? Okay. That would be just enough then.
Is it just enough? Oh, yeah. Then, yeah. I would rather go Pettis Bijan all day.
Yeah. And that's a perfect situation.
This lineup slaps. This lineup slaps hard.
Okay, so Donnie has
if he's playing the whole game and he's got a touchdown floor, solid play at 5K.
And look, I'll give Donnie his flowers again. We laughed at him for Isaiah Bond, and he was right about that. So, like, Donnie does have these fastballs once in a while that I don't see coming, and then they blow past me. I would love it if Donnie was right about that. I just don't think that the Bills will play their. Now, maybe he just saw this team against his Patriots. Maybe Josh Allen could play a quarter and they could put up 2 touchdowns, and we're still happy. Like, however the points come, I don't care. I just want Shakir to hit value. And I don't know if he can against the Jets. I know it's a great matchup, and that's probably why I'm scared of it, because I think the Jets are just terrible. But weirdly, I don't hate this lineup. We could make some changes, but I think Pettis just proves a good example of, like, we don't know if it's going to be Austin or Pettis, but playing one of those cheap guys, given the opportunity cost of losing Chris Olave in a game that, again, Tyler Shuck should want to win Rookie of the Year. I do think they'll give it to Ted McMillan. I expect him to have a big game if they were to beat the Bucs, and I think they will. So I'm with you, Gov, but motivation is motivation. And why not take the upside chance on a Saint to make this lineup work? What would you say to people that say, "Oh, you just want to play Bijan because you're chasing"? Like, I think Bijan's a good guy to chase, but like,
I was going to say, what am I chasing? I'm chasing the #1 running back fantasy in the league this year. Sure, that's a chase that I'm willing to chase.
Exactly.
Because it's worked out majority of the weeks of the year.
Now, me and you are friends because we agree on a lot of common sense things. And to me, that's a very common sense argument. Like, would you play, everyone was playing Jonathan Taylor just, in the early parts of the year, because guess what? He was getting all the work and he was dominant. That's exactly why we played Bijan Robinson in a game where we expect a lot of points. Is it?
I at least expect push from both teams.
Yeah, that's a good point. And that's what you need in a week 18 where we're dealing with incentives, and we don't even know, like, for example, Keenan Allen has an incentive. But is Keenan Allen old enough, and is he trying to build his pedigree and his legacy on Hall of Fame and Super Bowls, or does he really care about that money? And that's where we don't know these guys personally. Like, some people care a lot about money, and other people don't. Like, Phillip Rivers, let's be honest, he come out of retirement. He's going to be able to now get insurance for all of his kids and all of his family for the next 5 years. That stuff matters to those people. Like, you might not know that as a fan or care about that as a fan, but some of these things, like, run deep personally for the guys. And, like, when we look at it from a hindsight perspective, on Monday or Tuesday, we'll be like, oh yeah, we should have known that, but guess what? We're not going to know everything. You have to take a stand. This incentive I believe in, this one I do not. So, with that being said, though, I thought we got through this week pretty fast, but if there's anything you want to mention before we let the people go, otherwise I'll let you run to work as well, Gov, and we'll get on with
it's a weird one. Like, if you want to mention something on Saturday, like, you're picking the Panthers, I like that.
Yeah, I was just going to say
Seattle and San, like, both of those games, like, that's the weird. Like, you put the games that truly, truly matter, where the teams are going to push and play their normal game, are all island games essentially now this week. So it's very hard to pick this Sunday slate like we did.
I bring this up because I know this is an incentive that Donnie also believed in with Tony Pollard, and that's a thing I could actually believe in. A veteran on a team that already saw the playoffs, and 66 yards could that could get you in there in a DFS lineup given his salary. So that's something I would tend to believe in. Not to say I will get there. The 2-gamer though, Gov, you said you were going to play this mostly in showdown form. Do you think, like, I'm playing the 2-gamer just because I think if you overweight one game, I like that idea. Like, I'll still overweight probably one game over the other, but I like having, like, basically with 2 games, I feel like people are more likely to make mistakes and I can capitalize. That's kind of my thought process. But with going with the showdowns, is it that you can just capitalize and win both slates? Is that kind of your mindset of why you want to separate the two?
No, that's not really my mindset.
Okay. Because I've heard that from people like, well, if I'm wrong about this one game, I still have this other fallback game. So I was just wondering why you like the showdown so much. Because you also do that for basketball, to be fair, too, right? You attack a lot of showdowns.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like, once you start adding, like, to be fair, I like either the mid game or big slate, or I just want to play showdown. Once you get to like a 2 or a 3 gamer, like we've played those, the variance on those is almost showdown, but now I have 3 times as much player variance on top of the variance I have to deal with in a single game.
That makes a lot of sense. And to be fair, the showdowns are usually they're usually promoted to be worth a lot more. DraftKings usually wants to promote them, so they're bigger contests. So that actually makes a lot of sense. You made me think maybe I should attack more showdown this.
And then on the other end, like when you get to the larger slate, 7, 8, 9 games, the 13 game we have here, you can number it down to 3 or 4. And so now I feel like I have an edge because I'm already down to a 4-game player pool.
Yeah. But to Donnie's point is kind of what I also think as well, is like so many people feel like, oh, well, it's a 2-game slate, so then I have to get 2 people in, or I have to play, like I have to have someone. And if you attack it with more, what Gov's saying, with more of a showdown approach, I do feel like you can get an edge that way as well. So is there anyone that's sneaky from your Panthers, given that you're a Panthers fan? Is there anyone that you could give them in kind of
I feel like Chet has to have a big game to win Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
I feel like Chuba has been more of the third down receiving back. So that's usually how you attack Tampa. So I feel like those would be my 2 sneaky plays for me for Carolina in the 2-gamer. But I think Seattle-San Fran is the game to stack, personally.
The game to stack.
If you're doing that, I'm probably having mostly Seattle-San Fran with maybe a one-off of Chuba or Coker or Tet or Rico or like one of the skill players. Not really looking at Tremble, but like cheap tight end could work.
You know me with the stars and scrubs. You left me Tremble on. I will have Tremble on every one of these like 2-game plays. Now,
and that's why we need
yeah. I knew that would make you
on a slate with Kittle and Barner, you're playing Tremble. I love you.
I might be playing 2 tight ends. You know me with value. I do tend to play a lot of tight end in the flex. But I do agree with you to get back on just some actionable stuff. Even though I do think you can build Tremble, I think that's only for a certain type of build. I do think if the Panthers look good offensively, it comes through Ted McMillan. It always has. Like, he is their difference maker. He is the X factor as well as their best player. So, like, if they're going to look good, it's going to be not just a game from Ted. It's going to be a big game. It's going to be a statement game. I'm with you, Gov. Ted McMillan's going to be in my lineups. Whether it's right or wrong, I just feel like if I'm going to tell myself a story, it has to be the Panthers win. It has to be Ted McMillan in the lineup. So you can use that to your advantage if you think the Bucs are going to just dominate. Then I think you can get off of Ted McMillan, but that's a stand that I'll make in this slate. Do you think anyone will make a mistake just quickly on this slate? I guess we talked about a play that we think we should probably jam in. So is there anything in this slate that you feel like would be a mistake? It's okay if you think it's Tommy Tremble, by the way.
No, it's not that. I'm trying to think because, like, to be fair, I'm looking at it as showdown. So, like, thinking about this as a 2-game slate, what's the wrong play? It's probably one of the low plays that I'm thinking about in showdown. Like again, I said you have AJ Barner, you have George Kittle, you have Tunges who's played well behind Kittle. You have Tremble, who's super cheap. There's no reason to go to like a Kate Otten or anything like that. Don't get cute.
Don't get too cute is a good point, and I think Donnie brought up.
There are 2 cute plays like that. Like Tremble might not be a good play, but it's still ahead of like an Otten play.
Yeah. Because Otten might actually get more snaps, but we know he's not part of the he's not part of the offense as much. And we saw with Tommy Trimble when he gets elevated as like the guy, he actually gets worked in that offense. That's actually a good point. It's just because someone is available for you doesn't mean they're actually an active part of that team.
Like I haven't looked at it enough to know to like really dig into it, but like stuff like that, like look, just at tight end, you can block out one tight end and you still have a couple of low-owned GPP plays. I'm assuming Kittle's the chalk of this slate because there's not really a better tight end to play.
Or like that one week where I won, just a few weeks ago when the Ravens played.
I might have been saying Kittle all this time and he's out for all I know and not playing this week.
But that's where you pay attention to things, and even if you don't play it. Like for example, when I played Henry, a captain, just a few weeks ago, when the Ravens went on a showdown, I played it because the fullback for the Ravens was playing, and when he plays, Henry's usage goes way up. So there are still trends that you should pay attention to, whether you play them or not. You should know what's going on in these games, especially on the Saturday slate where the games actually matter. But with that being said, I want to get Gov off to work on time. I want to keep this show nice and condensed. Take care, guys. Hopefully, we gave you some ideas, some thoughts, and I'm glad Donnie was able to chime in and contribute where he could. Thanks as always for the time. Like and subscribe on your way out if you could, please. Thank you. It means a lot.
Peace out, everyone.